Good day, everybody. I guess she will be May 5th, 4th? May 5th. May 5th. Cinco de Mayo. We're going to check and do worms. How's everybody doing? We got a little rain today. Kind of nice to see. We've been really dry. Yeah, these guys are really working over the paper. Worms on top. Turn this around because I usually work that way. Okay, so we can harvest some. So we're harvesting, feeding, checking the worms on May 5th, 2025. The moisture for sifting is perfect at this end. I remember last time I was trying to dry them down, they were getting fairly wet. And seem to be succeeding in that department. Taking a good jag out of here. I'd like to encourage everybody to subscribe and like and share and comment and do all that wonderful stuff that makes YouTube want to play my videos more. Moisture's actually really good in this bin. Was a little bit dry right here on the edge, and everything else as you move in it's just about perfect. So had some mites, and they make like a dust. Almost seems like a mold, but it's not. Good population of worms in this bin. These are European night crawlers. As you know, I always start out with my European night crawlers. Come on, buddy, get out of there. There he goes. That one there. Huh. You're quite intertwined, you little bugger. Set him there for now. We'll figure it out. Alrighty, this is my premix, and it's damp. Worm food. Good feeding. Beans, potato peels, end of a celery. Okay. I'll pause you for 1 second and I gotta go get some paper. Alrighty. Got some paper. One more European nightcrawler being done. Yeah, healthy population, worms on top. Paper's getting fairly worked over. Good fungi in here, eh? Nice. Well, I'll be. It appears I have a worm dropping a cocoon right now. Pretty cool. Never seen that before. This bin is wetter than the last one. That's okay. It also has more worms in this bin. Bigger population. So they retain the moisture a little better than the smaller population bins. Okay, that's too wet to keep going. Mix. Good worm population. Really good population because the feed zone's back here, so we haven't even got to where the old feed zone is. So there, I'd put all the dry paper in there to help with the moisture, and it seems to be helping. There's a little worm ball right there. Okay, give these guys some feed. Always try to cover up your food, otherwise the mites will come. Two European night crawlers done. Good fungi in here. There's a big cocoon. So we've just been kind of getting over. We had what they call influenza A to start with, and then that turned into pneumonia. Both Colleen and I had it. All kinds of fun around here. Just nicely getting back in the swing of things, actually getting some energy back. Still don't have it all back. Still go into coughing fits and coughing stuff up because of the pneumonia. Got done the antibiotics about 4 days ago. All kinds of fun. These are red wigglers, by the way. I find the red wigglers better composters, I think. More they seem to get more done, but maybe that's just because they got more population. I don't know. Took a pretty good jag out of that. Lots of worms. We do the wedge system here. Anybody that's been watching us before horizontal wedge. See, when you have high moisture, you're more apt to have mites. There's a lot of worms. So we're just gonna move everything down. Put a little bit of bedding in here and feed them. Good population of worms in here, so they need a good amount of food. And lately, the only moisture they've been getting is out of the food and the little bit of moisture that comes into this bedding. But this is just damp, it's not sopping wet. One down. Good fungi. They seem to be doing quite well. This hand's a little dry, but right at the end, maybe the rest of it's pretty good shape. And as you can see, when I'm harvesting, anything that doesn't go through the screen just goes right back to the very start. Gets reworked. By the time it gets to the other end, it softens it up again. We're getting a good amount of harvest out of this. Good population. Yes, worm balls. It's a very active bin. It's doing quite well. So for anybody that doesn't know, the wedge system, the horizontal wedge system, we move everything to one side, feed at the same end all of the time, and as you feed at this end, the worms migrate this way and it makes it easier to harvest, less worms involved when you harvest. Banana peel. They like banana peel. More paper. Two down. They're working on their paper. It's getting worked down. We're gonna give them some food after we sift. Ooh, this end's pretty dry. Had a little switch of plans. Nathan decided he wanted to use commercial seed treatment on his seed this year, so we didn't do the worm tea treatment. Absolutely no use in putting worm tea on with chemicals because your biology is just not going to make her. But not my choice, not my dollars, so that's what he decided. Got another fellow that we got to mix some up for some hayland, but that's not a huge amount, one tote. Rest I'm going to start working on my land, so it really don't matter to me. If people don't want to use it, I'll use it, right? Pretty good population in here. Apple core, they like them too. Of course, anybody that's been following me knows I freeze all my scraps for them. Breaks down the cell walls. Kind of takes care of some of the bugs. paper. Put this one in first. Okay, there's the little bins of red wigglers. Some room here for the big guy. Okay, this girl's got some girth to her. Nice activity, lots of worms. This is my biggest and oldest bin. We're going to harvest, take a good batch out because, well, this one goes through a lot. It's a very active bin, very productive bin. It takes lots of feed and it takes lots of paper and it gives us lots of castings. Sometimes it doesn't pay to fill it up too much, the screen. You get better results when it's not as full. And if your stuff is too wet, it makes it very difficult to screen as well. Just going to take some of the top here. The rest is too wet below. Not many worms in this hand. The wedge system works better in the bigger containers, that's for sure. It gives them more room to get away down to the feed zone, and it empties out more. But it all works out. I think we'll call it. Give this a turn. Lots of worms here. Good moisture, lots of moisture. There, the very end was dry, but I kind of set it up to do that. There's a lot of worms in here. Very, very active bin. There, that's my feed zone, guys. Look at the old feed zone. Lots of worms. This bin is just a dynamo. Like it sure produces. It's got a good population. It's got enough mass that it you know, it just very resilient, doesn't dry out very much. We're going to give them a pretty good feeding, which in turn is going to add a lot of moisture to this bin. Few of the Kleenexes I got laying around. I'll make pretty short order of that. And bottom's always wetter than the top is. Oh well. Guess we'll put some dry in with it. No biggie. Be interesting to know how much weight they go through in paper and coffee and scraps, but I don't weigh anything. I just kind of give her. But it would be an interesting knowledge thing. So I leave that open, just a crack there. Cover the rest fairly well up. And when I put the lid on, when I put it back down, I leave the lid cracked about that much. And that helps dry down that end for harvesting. Okay. That's checking and feeding the worms and harvesting. So, that's the stuff that dreams are made of, according to gardeners. And soil health. I got enough in here to make 2 totes of worm tea again. I'll show you the and we mix it all up. There's a lot of stuff in here. And you want to keep your castings mixed up as you like, not every day, but I mean, when I feed, I mix my castings because it keeps them healthier. It keeps them from going anaerobic. You do not want them to go anaerobic. Then all your biology dies. The good biology dies. That's it. Okay, like, share, subscribe, comment. I gotta clean up my mess. Yeah. Let me know how things are going in your part of the world. I always put a drop cloth down, and then we just kind of brush off the paper and stuff, because it's really just paper that escapes me for some reason. All else fails, it's time to do bedding anyway. Okay, have a great one. Bye.